Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Worth It or Worthless for you guys. I'm so excited because I've been using a lot of my things. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to the family. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you do like it, and let's get on with my Worth It or Worthlesses. If you're new to my channel, as I always state in my videos, this is a series I started because you guys wanted to see my haul updates, and I figured I just really want to use the products up and then get back to you guys to decide whether these products are worth it or they are worthless and don't spend your money on. So I use these products, I go back through my videos to make sure that I am using what I am hauling, and things that sometimes I don't even haul I will share with you guys in these types of videos. If they do not show up in their individual catered video or in their favorites, they will most likely show up in this type of video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first products that I have are these new Milani blushes. I had just recently hauled these, and I had told you guys that I already had my mind set on them because I couldn't wait to use them. The first one is called Bella Bellini. This is more of a, what would I call this? NARS Orgasm type of blush. This one you have to be very, very careful with. You do not want to overpower this one because it will look way too much like a sheen on your face. It reminds me of the NYX Chrome highlighter one that I use as a blush. I have to use a very light hand, but if I do use a light hand, it looks beautiful on the skin. I really do like it, and this one really lasts a long, long time. You have been using this during the summertime, and I have been sweating. I have been hot and bothered. The humidity has played a toll on my face, and this, at the end of the day when I go wash my face, is still on. So it is a great formula. I've always liked Milani blushes, so this one is definitely worth it to me. If you have texture, if you have issues with this area of your face, you don't like the texture you have there, if you have pores, you may not like that one, so steer away from that. If it's not something that you like where it's a sheen, you like more of a matte blush, stay away from that one definitely. Next up that I have is the blush in Rose Romantico. This one I thought I was going to like more than the first one. It's more of a neutral pinky, it's like a brown, I can't even really tell you what it looks like to me. It's more of like this beigey color. I say this is more of a highlighter on me than it is a blush. I don't know if I would like it as a highlighter, to be honest with you. I don't know. That's actually not bad as a highlighter. I think I would prefer definitely to have this more of a highlighter than a blush. It does not show up on my face. I am not as dark as I was at the peak of the summertime, but this one does not show up on my face at all. It looks like just I put a giant highlighter on my cheeks. So I think I'm going to use this one as a highlighter because I don't like it as a blush. If you have fair to light skin, this might show up, but if you have medium and up, this is not going to show up as a blush on you guys at all. It didn't show up on me at all. It just looked like a big old blob. Like I grabbed a highlighter and just put it all over my cheeks. I didn't like it. I would not really recommend this one in all honesty because I do have highlighters that are made for highlighters, but since I already have it in my collection, and it's not such a bad highlighter, it's like a neutrally type of highlighter, so I don't mind it as a highlighter. But if you are interested in this one, I would say skip out on it because unless you have fair and you like that sheen type of blush, it's not really going to work for you, so not worth it. These two Milani eyeshadow palettes that I have here, the first one is the all matte one. This one I absolutely love. If you are a matte fan and you do not have anything in your collection that that is drugstore, that is all matte, I would say definitely get this one. Now I will tell you that the second shade, when you look at it, it does have some sort of sheen to it, but it will not transfer onto your skin that way. These really stayed on my skin, my eyes for most of the day. This is the swatches of them. These are just light swatches of them. They blend really nicely. They're soft and buttery to the touch. I really don't have complaints about this at all. They blend beautifully. I am constantly using this brow bone one here to set my my eye primer. they blend really, really nice. Like, I have no complaints of these eyeshadows at all. This one looks very similar to the Naked Basic palettes that you do have from Urban Decay. This one right here is the one that has sort of like, you see some sort of sparkle in it, but it really doesn't transfer out there. Beautiful color for the transition, this one as well, if you want more of a cooler tone than a warmer tone. I love the fact that the biggest one is the one that I use the most. You have a matte black and then a matte brown. So this one is one that I would constantly grab on my vanity if the palette that I was using did not have any type of transition color. So this is definitely a staple for me. I really like this one a lot. Milani eyeshadows are really, really good, at least in my opinion. Now this one right here is the Must Have Metallics. I like this one. It's really good. The only gripe I have is with this gold right here. It is very chunky. You have to be careful with it. You have to use like either a setting, look at it, you have to use either a setting spray or a glitter glue to really pack that on your lids, because it will go everywhere. That's the problem that I have with that one. It'll get everywhere all over your face, and nobody wants gold under their eyes, especially when you are already did your makeup. So this one also has a matte black to go with the shades. These blend super nice on the eyelids. Look how beautiful that is. These pack a punch. Like, these are legit beautiful. I love these colors. These are really, really good for the money that you're paying for them. Again, the only one that I really don't like is the gold one, but I can work with it. It is workable and it still packs a punch. You could definitely see the chunks in there. I don't know if you guys can see the chunks there. Can you tell like how chunky that is? So you do have to be very careful with that one. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes in this one, you guys. Next up is this Vasanti Synchron, I don't know how to say, eyeshadow trio. This one is Inevitable. This one was sent to me by my friend Lisa. I actually like these. These feel a lot more smoother than the Milani ones, and I think that they really do pack a punch. Now, I know my friend Drea had purchased one of these that were a different color, but these have no powder kick up. They really do have pigmentation. I packed these on my eyelids and they worked beautifully. They lasted all day. Absolutely love the colors of these. I used them during the summertime. This is what they actually look like here. I like this one. I really do like this one. This one's super pigmented. I have no trouble. If I were to describe this one versus the Milani one, this one's a lot more chunkier feeling and a lot more fallout than this one. This one had absolutely no fallout on my eyes. It did not fade. It did not crease. And I had no trouble picking up any pigmentation on these. So I really did like this one a lot. I know that Drea did not have the best experience with the one that she purchased, but I don't know if it had to do with color. Maybe the colors that she chose were a lot lighter or a different formula, but this one was really good. I liked it a lot. So this one was definitely worth it. I'm not sure if it's available or if you even can get it. I know it's only in Canada. Next up was this Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. This one I have a love-hate relationship with. I didn't use all the colors, obviously, but this is what it looks like here. My issue is that, for instance, some of these blues did not show up true blue as I really wanted them. I'm just going to swatch a few of them. Like Warning is really pretty. Midnight Blaze was another one I really liked. This blue one was good, but for instance, this Metamorphosis color, see how patchy that was? It doesn't really show up on the skin. I have to really build it up, and for this palette being what it is, I wish it was more pigmented. I have other eyeshadow palettes that just really packed more of a punch. I'm going to swatch a few more for you guys because some are hit or miss in this palette. Like, see that? Some are really hit or miss. And Urban Decay knows how to do a colorful eyeshadow, so I was very surprised that with this one, not all the colors pack a punch. Not all of them are great quality. Not all of them remind me of like the Urban Decay Electric palette that they got rid of, and I don't understand why they got rid of that one. That one was a really, really good one. If you're the type that doesn't like color, but you want a colorful eyeshadow palette, but you're still afraid of the color, this might be good for you because some of the colors don't really pack a punch. But if you're like me and you love color and you want them to show up without having to use a base, I would not have purchased this one. I thought it was going to be the quality that I was expecting from Urban Decay. I will use it, but it's not going to be one that I will reach for when I'm thinking of something colorful. My Coastal Scents palette that I did feature in my Ride or Die Color Edition is so much better quality than this one. So I'm glad I didn't pay full price for this one, that's for sure. I didn't pay full price. I did get it at a discount on top of another discount, so it was a steal. Not my favorite. Probably not worth it for most of us, because who uses that much color? I know I do, but not all of us will use that much color, so Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. Now this one right here is 100,000,000 times worth it. So I'm going to swatch all these colors. This one comes with only one shade that is matte. The rest of them are either a packed type of pigment or a sheen or a metallic, I should say, a metallic type of eyeshadow. These are so good. They do not have any color pickup, like any pickup that kick up, I should say. No fallout, no kick up. These are so beautiful. Now this is worth it for color. Like this is definitely up my alley. If you're the type that really doesn't go for colorful eyeshadows, this might be better. I know this was at a discount for a long time. I have a feeling it's probably no longer available, but if you did get it, this is a great one. This was really, really good. Tarte stepped out of their comfort zone and finally put out a colorful palette, because they're normally the neutral nudes, boring kind of palettes. Purples and browns and dark colors. This one was definitely out of their comfort zone and absolutely beautiful. Formula was great. I would recommend, if you have any of these types of shadows, you either use your finger, you used a flat synthetic brush, you wet it, or a glitter glue, and all of these eyeshadows will look perfect. No fallout, no fading, no creasing. It just looks so beautiful, and you do not need to use a base with any of these colors. The top part right here is the highlighter. There is one matte that is cool that worked really nice. Here's the highlighter. I did wear the highlighter. It is more of like that duochrome, but it is a soft duochrome, so it is wearable. I did wear it a few times and it did last on my cheeks. Tarte cheek products typically last on my cheeks. Even though I have oily skin, they do last. So this one was definitely a hit. If you can still find it, I would definitely say this is worth it. I know a lot of people said it was worth it, so I'm hoping that if you really wanted it, you did get it at a discount, because this was really definitely worth it, and I really did like that. Like, even looking at these colors, I'm just like, oh, this is what I wanted the electric palette to be. Next up is this Urban Decay Afterglow highlighting palette that my mother got me for my birthday. So I have been wearing this and using this. When I first got this, I didn't expect the pigmentation to be what it was. These are highlighters, obviously I didn't take off the thing. These are highlighters that have no powder kick up. They're really densely packed in there. They remind me of the eyeshadows in that Tarte palette, but in a highlighting form. So these are the 4 colors here, and they look like they won't pack a punch in the actual palette. Like, they look like they are subtle, and that's what I thought these were. They were going to be subtle and not so metallic-y, but they actually are really pretty wearable colors. These can be built up and they look really nice, or you can wear them subtle. Like, you can wear them as subtle. 3 out of the 4 shades I definitely can wear. That pink one I'm a little bit afraid of, because I don't really wear pink highlighters, but when I am more fair, I'm going to try it out, or I should say more light than I am now, because I'm never fair. But I do like it. It is a nice formula. It is soft. It is not powdery at all, and they really blend and last on my cheeks. Again, Urban Decay highlighters that are like this really work for my skin tone. So I like it that I have the variations of them. This one in the color NSFW may not work for a lot of people. This is the pink one that I'm afraid of, but I'm going to try out. And these two right here, this one and this one, are the two that I used the most. I really do like them. This was a great palette, so I think this was worth it. If it's still available and you want something to travel with, you want something that has different variations, but it's not super big like the Anastasia Glow Kits, or a Morphe highlighting palette, or something big, this one's really nice, compact, and it's sturdy enough to travel with, and it does have a mirror, so I do think that this is worth it. Next up is a blush that my friend Lisa had sent me a while back. This is an H&M brand in deep brown. It's an actual blush, but for me this works as a blush and a bronzer all in one. Like, if I don't feel like doing anything to my cheeks, I just grab this and put this all over my face, basically, like this area with a big fluffy brush, and there's my blush and bronzer. It is completely matte. It is a soft powder. I can also use this as an eyeshadow, a transition eyeshadow. It has like a sort of like a pinky red undertone, so it's really pretty. It did last on my skin. I built it up really nicely, and it didn't look patchy. It didn't give me any patchiness. It blended really nicely, so I do like this. I think she sent me one more H&M blush that I still need to try out, but I do like this one. This one's in deep brown. Very unique to my collection because I probably would have never picked this out for myself, so I'm glad that she got something that I normally wouldn't choose for me, but I do like it. I think I'm going to like this even more when I am lighter, because it'll show up even more. Right now I really do have to build it up because I am a little bit more tan, but when I do lighten up, I think I'm really gonna like that one a lot. So if you are curious about those H&M blushes, they're actually pretty good. Nice soft powder. I really like those. Last but not least is my Jaclyn Hill palette. I was debating on putting this in my September favorites because, in all honesty, this is the majority of the time, besides another palette, this is the palette that I was using. I really wanted to get a good grasp of it. Now that the hype is over, you know me, I don't like to jump on too many bandwagons, so I let the hype go down before I talk about an actual product that has been hyped up. So this is the palette that I have been using. I obviously, like I mentioned, I have not used all the eyeshadow palettes, all the eyeshadow colors, but here's my thought on this. I don't love it. I'm not in love with it. It's not my favorite. It's not my all-time, oh my gosh, you gotta run out and get it. I like it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I like it. It's okay. If I'm gonna compare this to any of the Morphe shadow palettes that I have, this is definitely a step up from all of the other Morphe palettes that I have tried. But it still does not compare to other eyeshadow palettes that I do own. For instance, I actually feel like these Milani ones blended a lot better than these did as far as the matte shades. Some of the matte shades I really had to go in 2-3 times to really build the pigmentation that I wanted. As far as the shimmery shades, if you do not use your finger or wet the brush, you're not going to get as much pigmentation. So I felt like I had to keep it going back into it and kind of build it up, and build it up. Most of the time I would mix 2 different shimmer shades just to get the color payoff that I wanted. This palette, with 95% of all drugstore inexpensive eyeshadows, not all of them, but the majority of inexpensive eyeshadows fade on my eyes. I have very oily lids, so unless I'm using a high-end eyeshadow, which I am expecting it to stay for the whole entire day, the majority of the drugstore ones will fade, and I am completely okay with that because that's just how my eyes are done. If you have dry lids, this is probably not going to fade on you, but if you have oily lids like I do, it'll probably fade on your eyes. So with that said, obviously my eye look would fade throughout the day. My transition shade would not look as potent as I built it up to be. I could see that some of the fading was gone. If I really didn't put a good base down, a good primer, my eyelids would crease. But again, I don't think that's the fault of the eyeshadows because all drugstore does that, all inexpensive ones. It's more of my oily lid. So I knew how to work with it to not let it get that way. I do love the fact that I get all these different colors. I get all these neutral shades that I do love. It's all warm tones. And I do get those pop of colors in here that I can incorporate in my looks. Is this a palette that I would absolutely recommend? No. If If you are a lover of Jaclyn Hill, buy it. You'll like it. If you love Morphe, buy it. You'll like it. It is better than their normal Morphe palettes, but I don't think it's the best, the greatest. Oh my gosh, it's going to revolutionize your eyeshadows. You're going to throw away all your other drugstores. No, I don't think that about this. I will still use it, yes, because I do love the color. For the most part, it is good. It is a good palette. It's just not the best, and it's not, I guess I was expecting so much more from it. I was expecting like this, oh my goodness, look at this beauty without having to do, you know, a million things to get it like that. I don't know. I guess I just expected more from it, and it was so hyped up that your expectations were like this, and when you got it, you're like, oh, it's just a little bit better than the Morphe palettes. But I do like it. I do like it. I guess I'm not going to say this is worth it or it's worthless, because I'm seriously on the fence with it. I do like it, but I'm not loving it, if that makes any sense at all. I know it's very vague, but it's my honest truth. It depends on your circumstance. If you don't have a lot of eyeshadows, it's good to have, because it is a good one. But if you have a million eyeshadows, you probably can dupe it. You probably have better, and it takes up a lot of space. So there you go. So that's it, guys. That's my worth it or worthless. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will put them all down in the description box and link them all if you are interested in any of these products and if any of them are still available. I will catch you guys in my next video, and don't forget that a smile is the best makeup a girl can wear. Bye, guys.